Well, hey, in the garage with me today is Fred Hespenheide from Paul's Chrome. How you doing, Fred?
Hi, Dennis.
Well, we're going to talk chrome today because that's kind of what you do.
That's what we do.
Well, and it always amazes me. I mean, you guys, I'll send you a piece that looks like this, and you're going to turn it into something that looks like this. And this, I wouldn't have believed you could actually do that if I hadn't seen it on the same piece. But you really can transform something this far gone.
Absolutely. We can turn your junk into jewelry.
Your junk into jewelry. I love that. But it's really, people think of chrome, but it's really a multi-staged process, and it's pretty high tech.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk to me about what happens in the chroming process.
We get all the time people, we give them a price and they'll say, it costs that much to dip it? And they have no comprehension of really what's going into this. We'll start with this sheet metal. This is a piece of sheet metal that has come in and we call it rough sanded and polished out the first time. And it's very thin, so we have a special nickel bath, sulfamate nickel bath, that we can use to put a nice barrier on there to get some strength without a lot of thickness. And then we start to solder up. This hole still needs to be filled. It was drilled in there after somewhere somebody put a screw in it. So we'll put the solder in them.
And then you grind it back down like that?
Grind it down like that, exactly. Then it goes back into a copper tank and gets this nice heavy acid copper buildup on it, comes back out and gets all repolished again with belt sanders, DA, whatever it takes to get it down. And now this...
Now I still see some, it's not all copper anymore though, because you've now sanded it back down.
That's right, we're leveling it out. And if we would plate it exactly right now, you would see like paint overlay marks at every one of these places. So it will go back into the copper again and come back out and get sanded until this is perfectly level and buffs out like the bumper guard there at the end of the table.
So this is a buffed out piece of copper-coated, copper-clad metal.
Exactly.
And if that's not perfect...
Any imperfection in there is going to be an imperfection in your chrome. All right, you have to sand it and level it until you're done.
So you may go back and forth here a few times before you get to the point where this thing is ready to accept...
We usually go back and forth there a few times.
Seriously, wow.
Seriously.
So if I was to take a jeweler's loupe or whatever and look at that, that would be just a perfect surface.
Yes.
And it has to be if I want perfect chrome at the end.
Exactly.
All right, then I got two shiny pieces here, but they're not chrome. They're not both chrome.
They're not both chrome, that's right. After it's buffed up for the final time, it will go back into a copper strike, and then it goes into a bright nickel bath. And that's what nickel looks like. When it comes out of the tank, it's shiny like that. Now eventually that would tarnish to a tea color if you let it out in the atmosphere. Chrome's job is a translucent flash, very micro-thin flash over that nickel to seal it up and keep it bright, just like you would put lacquer over polished brass. It's the protection to take care of that nickel. And then of course your wax takes care of the chrome.
Right, so, and if I hadn't done all of this right ahead of time, I wouldn't look like this.
Absolutely
at
not.
the end.
You'll either see waves, marks, pits, scratches, anything that my guys leave in that surface, in any of those steps, you will see in the end product.
And you're going to know if they did it.
Well, absolutely.
Oh, you'll know.
You'll know. It's right there.
It's right there.
Real hard to hide.
So I mean, it's a multi-step process. It's one that takes people that really know what they're doing, real craftsmen, to pull off, a show chrome finish.
Absolutely. I have to charge the customer enough so that I can give my men enough time, and they have to have enough pride in it to do it right.
Man. So in other words, to turn your junk into jewelry.
You got it.
Wow. Well, hey, if you want to learn anything more about the chroming process or all the great work that Paul's Chrome does, log on to myclassiccar.com. That's a lot of back and forth, man.
You better believe it.
You better believe it.
You better believe it.
AutoGeek.net. We are car care.